Hey guys, Diego Seki here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to tell you the top 10 tips to boost your metabolism. Tip number 1, eat more protein in your diet. There's a thing called TEF, thermogenic effect of food, and that means the amount of energy that your body needs to break down, absorb, and digest a macronutrient. Protein has the highest TEF compared to all the other macronutrients. We're talking about up to 30% of this TEF compared to 5 to 10% for carbohydrates or 1 to 3% for fats. So the more protein you eat, the more energy you use to digest these macronutrients, and the least calories goes into your fat stores. And secondly, of course, protein help not losing muscle mass. So that means that you preserve your muscle mass while losing body weight. So tip number 1, eat more protein in your diet. Tip number 2, drink plenty of water. Some studies show that drinking at least half a liter of water can increase 10 to 30% your metabolic rate. Your resting metabolic rate means that when you're at rest, you're burning more calories if you're drinking more water. And secondly, of course, if you replace water, you drink a lot of water, then you start replacing your sugary drink, your fizzy drinks, and that gets you on track on a healthier diet. Last one, it fills you up more. So make sure that you drink more water before a meal, so you actually tend to eat less food if you feel fuller already. So tip number 3, drink more water. Tip number 3, do a high intensity interval workout. A high intensity interval workout is the type of workout that has been shown to raise your metabolic rate the most and for longer throughout your day. Yes, because after you finish your workout, then you keep burning fat for the whole day, and that's great for your metabolism because we give it a nice boost in the morning. And it doesn't matter when you're training in the day, but actually people that train in the morning, they have a good boost for the whole day. And secondly, they've done a study and they put some overweight males on a high intensity workout regime for 12 weeks, and they found that at the end of the cycles they lost up to 5 pounds of body weight and 17% reduce their belly fat. So high intensity workouts, do it. Tip number 4, lift heavy things. Lifting heavy things means do resistance training, train at the gym, train at home, lift weights. Why? Because that increases your muscle mass, and muscles are actually more metabolically active than your fat stores. It means that while you're resting, just to be maintained and to function, your muscle requires so much more energy than your fat stores. So if you have more muscles, you're burning more calories. Even if you weigh the same of another person, but your body composition is completely different. Secondly, if you lift heavy, it helps reduce your muscle loss while you're losing weight. So you retain more muscle, you're losing fat, it looks so much better because you tone up that body. And lastly, they done an interesting workout, or they did interesting scientific studies with women, and they've been put on an 800 calories a day diet. And some of them either were doing no training at all, aerobic training, meaning cardiovascular training, or resistance training with weights. And you guessed it, the ones that were on a resistance training type of regime, they lost the most amount of weight, retaining the most muscle. Some of the people who were doing aerobic exercises as well, they lost weight as well, but then their metabolism decreased because not having that much muscle mass then forced them to lower that resting metabolic rate. So that means that if you retain muscles as well, you keep burning fat and you keep your metabolism so much more active. So tip number 4, lift heavy things. Tips number 5, stand up more. Yeah, stand up more. A lot of people are at the office all day and they don't walk around a lot and they never take breaks. So that is impacting their metabolic rate because they're not burning as much. So take regular breaks while you're in the office, stand up, even if you're walking around for 5 minutes, having a coffee break or something, do it. And then whenever it's possible, use the stairs. Anytime you're around, use the stairs if that's the option. And that just adds a little bit on the overall daily habit of boosting your metabolism. So tip number 5, use the stairs and stand up more. Tip number 6, drink green tea or some herbal infusions. So there's some interesting studies that have been done on green tea, and they showed that it can increase your metabolic rate by 1 to 5%. Plus, it can help breaking that plateau when you start and try losing weight. So that means that you never get stuck, but you keep burning if you keep drinking green tea. So the evidence is still limited around the area. They're doing more studies about it, but this is one more tip that you can implement into your daily habits to boost your metabolism. So tip number 6, drink green tea. Tip number 7, eat spicy foods. Into spices, and most particularly into peppers, there's a substance called capsaicin. And this substance has been studied, and they found out that it can add more into your fat burning, meaning that you can burn 10 extra calories at every meal if you use in peppers and spices in general that contain this substance. So the evidence, of course, is encouraging, and this can be a great addition to all the other practices that are already in place. Because of course 10 calories might not be a lot, but if you start adding them up with everything else that you're doing, plus adding 10 more calories burned at every single meal, that can turn out as a big result at the end of the day or the end of the week. So remember to use spices where it's possible. Tip number 7, eat spicy food. Tip number 8, have a good night's sleep. We all know the importance of sleep, but at the same time, some of you might not know that a lack of sleep has been linked to obesity and glucose level dysfunctions and insulin resistance. So that means that these are the first signals that can lead to diabetes, to obesity, and ultimately to metabolic syndrome. So having a good night's sleep means that you start avoiding the risk of all these diseases. Plus, if you sleep properly, then you will help your body to recover better and get good on a level of a hormonal homeostasis, meaning that your hormones are actually back in balance. Because actually people that are having a lack of sleep, they increase the hunger hormone called ghrelin, and then they suppress. So that means that they block the fullness hormone, which is leptin. So if you have the hunger hormone, which is higher, then you feel hungry and you eat more, and then you gain more weight. So I'll be doing another video, separate video, talking about these hormones in particular, because they're really important into your journey of losing weight and getting in shape. But just remember this, have a good night's sleep. Tip number 8, sleep properly. Tip number 9, drink coffee. It might be weird from my side because I'm not a big coffee drinker, but at the same time, they actually show that coffee can increase your metabolism by 11%, up to 11% in some studies. So that's great for one side, but on the other side, you need to realize and remember that it might just favor lean people, so people that are already lean, because they done a study where some lean females, they've been put on a study and they've been put on a diet where they've been drinking coffee regularly, and then some men who were overweight, they've been on the same studies, and having the same diet and having the same intake of coffee lead the women to lose around 29% of their body weight, where overweight men were just losing around 10% of that weight. So it might be that these drinking coffee thing favors people who are already lean, but at the same time it's still helping through the overall boosting metabolism. So tip number 9, drink coffee. Tip number 10, final tip, replace your cooking fats and cooking oils with coconut oil. So coconut oil is mainly made up of MCTs, meaning medium chain triglycerides. So these fatty acids are actually easier to digest by the body, but they require more energy. So that means that they can boost your metabolism more compared to other long chain fatty acids that are the ones found maybe in some other type of oils or butter. So just changing these little ingredients to which you cook your food with, it can have a big impact on your metabolism. So they found that using coconut oils can boost your metabolism up to around 14%, where with long chain fatty acids you can go up to only about 6 to 7%. So it's almost doubling that metabolic boosting activity. So remember to try out coconut oil to cook. I always use it, it's great. Plus it has a lot of benefits on your metabolism too. So tip number 10, replace your cooking oils with coconut oil. So in conclusion, these were 10 tips, 10 quick tips that you can adopt and start using today to boost your metabolism. Together, they can give you a nice boost in your overall metabolism and start making you feel so much better and start losing weight immediately. And of course, if you start implementing these habits, it becomes normal routine to do them, and it's not hard to do at all. Plus, once you start losing weight, they will help you burning weight like crazy and keep it off at the same time. So make sure you try them out. Just leave the comments below and let me know as well what you thought about these tips. If you know any more tips, just put them down below that I want to try them out as well. And if you want to know anything else related to fitness, nutrition, training, anything that you want to know, backed up by science, of course, as always, because I trust science, then let me know in the comment, and please subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next video. Boost your metabolism now.